handful, filled with strong opinions, that's a fact. It ain't about right or wrong, it's how we get along. Push too hard and she'll start pushing back. This whole world keeps on spinning, sometimes a frown and sometimes a grinning. Keeps on giving and forgiving. You can see the tears she cries in her stormy hurricane eyes. So we best beware how we take care of this whole world. This whole world has seen a lot of trouble. The girl's been burned a time or two. Humbly bears the scars of politics and wars. Maybe it's time we see her point of view. This whole world keeps on spinning, sometimes a frown and sometimes a grinning. Keeps on giving and forgiving. You can see the tears she cries in her stormy hurricane eyes. So we best beware how we take care of this whole world. Na 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 na. This whole world keeps on spinning, sometimes a frown and sometimes a grinning. Keeps on giving and forgiving. You can see the tears she cries in her stormy hurricane eyes. So we best beware how we take care of this whole world, 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 yeah, this whole world, this whole world. Na 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 na. This whole world, this whole world, this whole world, yeah, this whole world. Na 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 na. Well, she makes me a list with numbers that go on and on. And it's staring at me from the refrigerator door all week long. When I come home from working 40 hours on a Friday night, well, I'm thinking maybe we'll go out and paint the town and do it right. But before we get started on having some fun, she says, honey, this list just gotta get done. Honey, do this, honey, do that. But when you're all done, could you take out the trash? The drain needs fixing, it's mowing the lawn. Ain't that much for a man so strong? There's only 13 things between me and her kiss, and they're all right here on the honey-do list. By late Saturday morning, I'm all the way to number 8. Then I'm off to put a fresh coat of paint on the front yard gate. About 3 o'clock, I'm cruising and I'm moving in on number 4. That's when I fix the latch that's broken on the back porch door. But before she'll even think of going out on a date, there are a few more things on this list that can't wait. Honey, do this, honey, do that. When you're all done, could you take out the trash? The drain needs fixing, is mowing the lawn. Ain't that much for a man so strong? Now there's only 3 things between me and her kids, and they're still right here on the honey-do list. Then she says to me, you notice the vacuum cleaner's still broken and the washer's making a funny noise?
That can't be good.
Well, early in the evening, I'm all the way to number 2. I'm at the top of that list with only one thing left to do. You can bet when that last trash can has been taken out, we're gonna find out what good loving is all about. 'Cause there's one thing every guy's gotta understand, it's that a woman sure loves her honey-do man. Honey-do this, honey-do that. When you're all done, could you take out the trash? The drain needs fixing, it's mowing the lawn. It ain't that much for a man so strong. Yeah, when I was done with that honey-do list, she says, slide over right here, we'll start with a kiss.
Good evening. We are Joshua Creek. We're so happy to be here. We write and sing songs about faith, family, and fun. And here's a song you may have heard on the radio. This is from our first album.
A little boy sits on a chair, waiting for his dad. Scared and crying, 'cause he'd been bad. Stole a toy on a dare from the corner drugstore, but he got caught slipping out the door. And finally when his pa arrived, the boy couldn't look him in the eye and said, oh, Dad, I know you hate me. Then in disbelief, he heard his father say, I love you, son, just tell me what you've done. Life's full of problems, together we can solve them. Talk it out with me, work it out, you'll see. I love you, son. Then he turned 16 with a license to drive. Stereo loud, girl by his side. Lost control on a curve and the car overturned. They crawled out and watched that Mustang burn. And from a sheriff's station telephone, he found the old man at home and said, oh, Dad, you're gonna hate me. Then in disbelief, he heard his father say, I love you, son, just tell me what you've done. Life's full of problems, together we can solve them. Talk it out with me, work it out, you'll see. I love you, son. 36, what could have been was in an awful mess. Broken dreams, a broken home, broken promises. So from the valley of his dark despair rose a first attempt at prayer. He said, oh Lord, I know you hate me. Then in disbelief, he heard the father say, I love you, son, just tell me what you've done. Life's full of problems. Together we can solve them. Talk it out with me. We'll work it out, you'll see. I love you, son.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We are so honored to be here, and we'd like to send out some thank yous right now. First of all, to the excellence in the community and all the people involved with that. It's just been so great to work with them. The Gallivan Center, and Dane's Music, Salt Lake City Mayor Aaron Mendenhall, the Salt Lake City Council, Utah Division of Arts and Museums, and the Salt Lake Redevelopment Agency. All these people come together to bring you these great concerts. We're so thankful for it.
The winter I was 8 years old, laid up sick in bed. Grandma came to bring me chicken soup and homemade bread. She tucked me in a patchwork quilt made with her own hands and told me all the stories that make up who I am. Well, there's a gingham patch of her grandma's who came across the sea, and a denim pocket cut from my great-grandpa's dungarees. A yellow piece of satin from her own wedding gown, and Dad's old baseball jersey the year he won the home run crown. So wrap this love around you, hold on to every square. When you're in need of comfort, you'll always find it there. Heaven's not that far from here. It's right where you're at, wrapped up in your quilted past. The summer she turned 90, she had trouble getting round. We sat and talked about the old days, the changes in this town. And as she drifted off to sleep with her Mona Lisa grin, I pulled the quilt around her and gently tucked her in. And on the worn and faded fabric slightly covered by her hair was a patch from my pajamas sewn in with loving care. Wrap this love around you, hold on to every square. When you're in need of comfort, you'll always find it there. Heaven's not that far from here. It's right where you're at, wrapped up in your quilted past.
So life is filled with all kinds of irony, and you kind of need a lot of humor to get through it. I was watching some video on the internet earlier this week, and one of the guys practicing for the Masters hit a hole-in-one. It skipped across the grass, across the lake. Did you see this?
No.
And he got a hole-in-one, skipped across the lake, and then onto the green and into the hole. And so we're going to dedicate at least the first part of this song to the Masters which is going on in Augusta. It's called Life's Like That.
Bass is loaded on a 3 and 2 count. Pitcher winds up, then the cable goes out. Yeah, life's like that. Shoot a hole in one on the par 3/10. No one else sees the ball go in. Yeah, life's like that. Yeah, yeah, life's like that. You take it and you give it. Yeah, life's like that. It's all in the way you live it. Wash the car, then it starts to rain. Drop my gold ring down the kitchen drain. Yeah, life's like that. Find a big scratch in my brand new truck. Finally get a raise, then the rent goes up. Yeah, life's like that. Yeah, yeah, life's like that. You take it and you give it. Yeah, life's like that. It's all in the way you live it. Yeah, life's like that. Don't let some bad luck ever get you down. It'll turn around. Things have a funny way of working out. Doing 68 in a 45 zone. Cop pulls me over, but he lets me go. Yeah, life's like that. Ain't no line at the DMV. They even take a pretty good picture of me. Yeah, life's like that. Yeah, yeah, life's like that. You take it and you give it. Yeah, life's like that. It's all in the way you live it. Yeah, yeah, life's like that. Take it and you give it. Yeah, life's like that. It's all in the way you live it. Bass is loaded on a 3 and 2 count. Pitcher winds up, then the cable goes out. Yeah, life's like that.
This one's called Radio Dawn.
Black Nebraska sky on an open window ride. Nothing but the cornfields and my 2 lonely headlights. I drive on Radio Dawn. 400 miles to go till you whisper sweet hello. Longing for your morning smile, moonlight seems to know. Been too long, Radio Dawn. I hear your voice in every song. He calls to me and leads me on to you. Lost between the night and day, where ghosts and lonely DJs play a tune, accompanies my blues. I drive on Radio Dawn. Miles and minutes pass on another tank of gas. Static feels a midnight in my solitary trance. somewhere past Cheyenne, still wondering where I am. You're a peaceful, easy feeling in this barren no man's land, just beyond Radio Dawn. I hear your voice in every song. It calls to me and leads me on to you. Lost between the night and day, where ghosts and lonely DJs play a tune, accompanies my blues. I drive on Radio Dawn. I hear your voice in every song. It calls to me and leads me on to you. Lost between the night and day, where ghosts and lonely DJs play a tune, accompanies my blues. I drive on Radio Dawn. I drive on Radio Dawn.
All right, as songwriters, the inspiration from our music often comes from our families or our own true life experiences, like the marriage of a daughter or childhood memories. And we want to play a couple of those types of songs now for you. These are off of our Pieces of Time album. Could it be possible? Could it really be true? Could the days of raising you already be through? It seems impossible. It's so unfair. I was just rocking you to sleep right over there. Well, they say life is funny, though I'm not laughing now. You see, my little girl is leaving, and I have to keep breathing somehow. It's the saddest of joys, the happiest of tears. It's heartbreaking gladness, embracing of fears. Today is your wedding, but I'd go back in time, if just for a moment, and hold your tiny hand in mine. Your first baby steps were on this very floor, but the steps you're taking now lead right out the door. You won't need a father like you did in days past, but I'll always need the girl who grew up too fast. In a blink of an eye, the cliche comes true. They are gone before you know it. Now one of them is you. It's the saddest of joys, the happiest of tears. It's heartbreaking gladness, embracing of fears. Today is your wedding, but I'd go back in time, if just for a moment, and hold your tiny hand in mine. From your first laugh to your first love, I stood by and watched you with pride. A fairy princess, a ballerina. Today you're a bride. Now the battle is over. What have I won? Not goodbye to a daughter, but hello to a son. It's the saddest of joys, the happiest of tears. It's heartbreaking gladness, embracing of fears. The day is your wedding, but I'd go back in time, if just for a moment, and hold your tiny hand in mine. So I'll give you away if you promise you'll stay. Behind the house where I grew up was the world's tallest tree. I'd climb it to the very top, see how far I could see. From a branch there hung a wooden swing, and with giant calloused hands, Dad would pull me way, way back. Then I'd soar like Superman. And after we played, we'd sit in the shade, drink Mom's sweet lemonade, dream of astronauts and fire brigades. Stronger than the wind, wiser than the sky, roots running deep, branches reaching high, from summer sun to winter cold, from green to red and gold. Oh, how I wish I could be under the shade of that oak tree. On summer Sundays after church, my cousins would come by, barbecue on paper plates, Grandma's pecan pie. She'd tell us tales of Grandpa Joe. He flew in the war, and how our young soldier souls are never lost could find a sweet forgiving door. The fireflies would play as the old branches swayed in some kind of secret game of shadow box and night charades. Stronger than the wind, wiser than the sky, roots running deep, branches reaching high, from summer sun to winter cold, from green to red and gold. Oh, how I wish I could be under the shade of that oak tree. From the boy who carved his name to the man who I became, all I will ever be is written in those rings. Stronger than the wind, wiser than the sky, roots running deep, branches reaching high, from summer sun to winter cold, from green to red and gold. Oh, how I wish I could be under the shade of that oak tree. Oh, how I wish I could be under the shade of that oak tree.
So this next song kind of comes from watching like Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones gig way into their late 60s and 70s. It kind of makes you think about who your parents or your grandparents were before they actually were your parents or your grandparents. And it's a little bit of that, a little bit of That Thing You Do, which we love in our family, that movie. So this is called Grandpa Was a Rock Star.
Up in Grandma's attic, in a stack of old LPs, Grandpa kept a secret hid since 1963. Last year at Thanksgiving, he was rocking in his chair when someone found a record and brought it back downstairs. Well, me and Cousin Kenny took and put that record on. The voice was so familiar, but we didn't know the song. Yeah, Grandpa was a singer in a rockin' 50s band. He opened up for Elvis once and had a lot of crazy fans. They even had a single that was climbing up the chart. Yeah, it was so bizarre, him playing that guitar. But Grandpa Willie really was a rock star. We all climbed back up those stairs, shocked in disbelief, and found a bunch of pictures in an old fan magazine. There behind a dusty desk sat his old Les Paul, right beside a Fender amp with the tweed all peeling off. So I quickly picked it up and put it in his hand. Bow, bow, bow. Grandpa strapped that guitar on, and man, he still could jam. Yeah, Grandpa was a singer in a rockin' 50s band. He opened up for Elvis once and had a lot of crazy fans. They even had a single that was climbing up the charts. Yeah, it was so bizarre, him playing that guitar. But Grandpa Willie really was a rock star. Yeah, Grandpa was a singer in a rockin' 50s band. He opened up for Elvis once and had a lot of crazy fans. They even had a single that was climbing up the charts. Yeah, it was so bizarre, him playing that guitar. But Grandpa Willie really was a rock star. Yeah, Grandpa Willie really was a rock star.
Oh, that wore Grandpa out. So this next song is kind of the song that almost started the band. It was one of the first songs Jeff and I wrote, and this is off our first album. It's the lead track.
I need to do a quick little tuning here. You want to maybe tell them about our upcoming Christmas?
Sure.
Yeah.
We just want to mention real quick, we have a couple socially distanced Christmas shows at the Covey Center. December 2nd and 3rd at the Covey Center. In Provo, we've been doing the Christmas show for about 12 years now. And we're excited with just the few gigs we've had this year to be able to perform our Christmas gig December 2nd and 3rd.
There are 3 car seats in his king cab truck, 3 little girls growing up, and all the neighbors say they don't know how he does it. He never was a church-going kind, but she was bound to change his mind, fill the space between God and him, and make their home a heaven. But he lost her on the day the girls were born. Nothing else matters anymore. Faith helps him kneel to pray. Hope brightens every day, and his heart is filled with love from charity. He's gonna be with her again one day, but until then, he's still learning to believe with faith, hope, and charity. Faith and hope have their mother's eyes, a little dimple when they cry, and every time they smile, he feels her in the room. Charity was the first to walk when they all began to talk. It was like heaven knew the words he needs to hear. And every night before he tucks him in, 3 blue-eyed angels are watching over him. Faith helps him kneel to pray. Hope brightens every day, and his heart is filled with love from charity. He's gonna be with her again one day, but until then, he's still learning to believe with faith, hope, and charity. Gonna be with her again one day, but until then, he's still learning to believe with faith, hope, and charity. There were 3 car seats in his king cab truck, 3 little girls growing up, and all the neighbors say they don't know how he does it. All right. In honor of Veterans Day that we just celebrated this last week, we'd like to play a couple of our Patriot-themed songs that were inspired by true stories, ones that we wrote.
Talk about this first one.
This first one is the story of a relative, a cousin of my, second cousin of my dad's, and served in the Korean War, and this was his experience there. The second one is a true story about my mother, and so we hope you like them. Max Austin joined the Army back in '48. Only 17, he had to lie about his age. Went to basic training where he got his uniform. Then he shipped off to fight the Korean War. His squad was captured by the enemy one day. POWs stripped him down and locked away. They lined up the prisoners to indoctrinate their minds. They could hurt his body, but his soul would be just fine. He sang, "God bless America," loud as he could. And so they punished him like he knew they would. But every day he shouted out, rebel filled with love, of God for his family and for America. He stood for freedom that this country still enjoys. Stood for his God and for his future girls and boys. Wore stars of courage on his back and on his chest. All for the flag he fought so proudly to protect. He sang, "God bless America," loud as he could. And so they punished him like he knew they would. But every day he shouted out, a rebel filled with love, for God, for his family, and for America. For God, for his family, for America. I do got to say that last song, I was actually playing here on the stage at the Galvin Center outside when my dad's cousin came up to talk to me about this story and said, "Can you write a song about him?" It's actually her husband's father that it was about. What a great experience to be able to write that song. The skies lit up like fireworks, then the bombs began to fall. She was huddled in a basement with her family beneath the crumbling walls. The night got deathly silent, the explosions finally stopped. They crawled out of the rubble to find that everything was lost. Leaders start the wars, and the people pay the cost. She left everything she knew to land upon these shores. found herself a husband, raised a family out on his little farm. The work wasn't easy, but it kept the family fed. And every night she told them as she tucked them into bed how much she loves this country. And this is what she said: I'm American, for the flag I proudly stand. American, on my heart I place my hand. It's the greatest land on earth, I say it loud with my free voice. German by birth, American, American by choice. The sky's lit up with fireworks on the 4th of July. She was sitting on a blanket with her family, knowing they'd sleep safe that night. Tears came to her eyes as the jets flew overhead. She sang the Star-Spangled Banner with her strong accent. When a lady asked her, where do you come from? This is what she said: I'm American, for the flag I proudly stand. American, on my heart I place my hand. It's the greatest land on earth, I say it loud with my free voice. German by birth, American, American by choice. Here's where I was born, and here's where I'll stay. Mom, you paid the price, so I can humbly say, I'm American, for the flag I proudly stand. American, on my heart I place my hand. It's the greatest land on earth, I say it loud with my free voice. American by birth, American, American, I'm an American by choice.
We sure have enjoyed being here tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Some thank yous. We'd like to, again, thank the excellence in the community, all the people, Jeff, all the audio, lighting. They've just been tremendous for us tonight. The Gallivan Center, Dane's Music for this amazing Steinway piano. Loved it. The Salt Lake City Redevelopment Agency, the Salt Lake City Council, the City Mayor, Aaron Mendenhall, and the Utah Division of Arts and Museums. Thank these people. We're so grateful for them. And we'd like to end this with, oh, let me tell you who's in the band. That might be something to do. Over there on the piano tonight is Dave Despain. Yay, Dave! On the bass and backing vocals, Dr. Quint Randle. Back here on drums, subbing tonight, our regular drummer had a family emergency come up at the last minute, and this is my son, Jordan Saltmarsh. Stepping in for us. Yes, hear the applause. On lead vocals And rhythm guitar is Jeff Hinton.
And on lead guitar, arrangements, musical director, all out around good guy, Ron Saltmarsh.
Thank you.
And this is called Freedom.
As soon as I get a drink.
Yeah.
Freedom is calling me home, a peaceful place where I can roam. Loneliness ends way up in the sky, take me high like a mountain, let me fly. I will soar like a seagull way over the sea. I will float through the clouds on an eagle's wing. Take me up where it's peaceful, let the wind carry me. Chart a course for the heavens, set me free. Sunshine is calling me out, flee the darkness, fear and doubt. Find me some space where I can be free, get away from the crowd. Let me be. I will soar like a seagull way over the sea. I will float through the clouds on an eagle's wing. Take me up where it's peaceful, let the wind carry me. Chart a course for the heavens, set me free. Come on. I will soar like a seagull way over the sea. I will float through the clouds on an eagle's wing. Take me up where it's peaceful, let the wind carry me. Chart a course for the heavens, set me free. Chart a course for the heavens, set me
Freedom is calling me home, peaceful place where I can roam. Loneliness ends way up in the sky, take me high like a mountain, let me fly. I will soar like a seagull way over the sea. I will float through the clouds on an eagle's wing. Take me up where it's peaceful, let the wind carry me. Chart a course for the heavens, set me free. Sunshine is calling me out, flee the darkness, fear and doubt. Find me some space where I can be free, get away from the crowd. Let me be. I will soar like a seagull way over the sea. I will float through the clouds on an eagle's wing. Take me up where it's peaceful, let the wind carry me. way over the sea. I will float through the clouds on an eagle's wing. Take me up where it's peaceful, let the wind carry me. Chart a course for the heavens, set me free. Chart a course for the heavens, set me free.
Katie wakes up to a Carolina sun. She drops off her kids and gives a wave to her mom. Punches in at a job paying just above minimum wage. Steve's in Albuquerque in his Freightliner truck, sleeping while the trailer is loaded up. Then it's another 40 hours on a long-haul cross-country race. We all know it isn't free, chasing down our every dream. Yeah, it's all in an American day. Well, we know how to work and we know how to play. We live for the difference an ordinary life can make. When the going gets tough, we don't ask why. No, we're not afraid to live and we're not afraid to die.